Howdy, folks. It is I, and it's been a while since I made a video. Ganz kurz mal auf Deutsch. Deutsches Teil kommt zum Ende. But anyway, been a while since I made a video. I used to make them a lot when I lived on the island of Sylt. In the hopes that I could motivate and inspire people, not to act like a know-it-all, but just to try and help people avoid the mistakes that I've made in my life. And believe me, I've made some grand mistakes, which actually leads me to this video and two things specifically that I really need to say. So bear with me as I get them out there. Gonna make this video public because, hell, let the world hear. My life at the moment has been once again extremely chaotic, and I've actually been going through a lot of neurological things and just weird things, intense dreams and extreme homesickness and lucid dreams and inexplainable situations throughout the daily life cycle. Anyway, let's get into it. These two things that I need to say are very important to my inner peace and my personal development. And that's why I'm making this video, making it public. I'm going to accompany this perhaps with a writing for those who don't want to see me ramble on for however long this video takes. I'm going to do my best to keep it concise, but I'm very, very bad at that. But anyway, first thing I need to say to everyone out there, everyone watching this video, is I'm sorry. That includes primarily my mother, my family, from whom I was estranged for a long time, my family. Also friends, ex-girlfriends, ex-work colleagues, etc., etc. I wasn't always the best version of myself. Around the year 2000, a series of cataclysmic events in my personal life really tore me apart and caused a lot of trauma in my life. And I literally, lost myself. In shamanism, they say, when you go through traumatic events, you could actually lose a part of your soul. Which is what happened to me in the late 90s, 2000. I actually lost who I was and tried to be other things that I wasn't, to fill that gap, to fill that void. And in doing so, I was, for lack of better terminology, I was an asshole. And I was proud of it at the time. Certainly wasn't the best version of myself. Certainly wasn't who I coulda, woulda, shoulda been. And I'm sorry for that. I know I hurt people, mostly indirectly, sometimes directly, because of my own pain and suffering. And, it's been said you can't love another individual unless you truly love yourself. And the fact of the matter is, you can't really hate someone or hate other people unless you truly hate something about yourself. And that being said, 15 plus years ago, I really was a lost soul who was, it appeared that I hated the world, but what I really hated was myself. The way my life was going and the fact that I couldn't find that lost piece of myself. I'm sorry. I mean, we all try to live our best lives. We all do what we think is right. Sometimes it's, I always say, it's been said the worst of things are done with the best of intentions. Sometimes we think we're doing the right thing. Sometimes we actually know we're doing the wrong thing. We just don't care. That was more my mental state many years ago. Nevertheless, I'm sorry. I truly am. Even to those people who don't like me because of what I've done in the past, you know what? I'm still sorry. You don't need to forgive me. You don't need to like me. That rests entirely on you, but I don't want this sorrow in my soul anymore. And even those people who hate me for whatever reason, no matter how good you are in life, no matter how friendly, how kind, there's always going to be people who don't like you. But you got to grow and learn that they don't like you because they see something in you that they don't like about themselves. That's always the case because there's never a reason to hate another individual. That being said, leading into this whole so-called enemy thing, the other thing that I really need to say is thank you. Especially once again to my mother, but also to my family, to my friends, to my co-workers, and to the people, once again, who don't like me. Each and every one of you has been my teacher. And sometimes when I sit and reflect on my life, I can't even comprehend, I can't even put it together that I've actually lived this life, some of the stuff that I've been through, both good and bad. It's been truly amazing. I would love to write a book about it all, and I actually hope to one day when my daughter becomes less challenging and I actually have free time for myself. But the fact of the matter is, there's good and there's bad. What we perceive as good and bad, that's debatable in and of itself, what's good, what's bad. But the fact of the matter is, life is life. And when I was a mere 3 years old, not everyone knows this, I had spinal meningitis. I don't recall anymore if it was bacterial or viral, but I had spinal meningitis, and the doctor told my mother, prepare for your son's death, he probably won't make it. At 3 months old, I had to fight to live my life, to even exist on this planet. While other people were suckling on their mother's nipples, I was fighting for my life. And I'm still here at 44. And though sometimes I wish my life would be a little bit different, a little bit better, I got everything I need. I got a beautiful wife and an adorable daughter, and I've lived and seen so much. I've literally slept in 5-star luxury suites. I've slept under bridges. I've slept in prison cells. I've sat and partied with hookers and murderers, and I've been blessed by the Dalai Lama. I've met innumerable amounts of celebrities, and it's all interesting. It's all wonderful. It's all life. And there's always ups and downs, good and bad. But, you know, if it was too perfect, it wouldn't be as fun. It sounds crazy, you know, I'll have to remind myself of that when times get hard again. But they're actually hard now. The past couple weeks have been extremely difficult. I've actually found myself on the verge of tears a number of times. Extreme homesickness, many challenges, impatience. But you know what? I've been through it so often in my life, and time again I realize, like a roller coaster, it goes up and down and left and right, has twists and turns, and that's what makes it so damn fun. So I am thankful to each and every one of you out there for making my life so damn interesting. At the moment, I'm not as good as I'm gonna get, but I'm better than I used to be. I'm not exactly where I want to be or need to be, but I came so far, both literally, mentally, spiritually, and for that, I am thankful not just to my Creator, not just especially to my dear mother who gave me life, but to everyone out there, because my brain at the moment is on full speed. It's on ludicrous speed. Spaceballs nod for those of you out there. And that means I go through a plethora of thoughts and memories throughout the day. And I think about so many different people that I'm sure don't give a flying F about me and don't think about me. But still, you know what? I'm nonetheless thankful for them. And the memories I've had, both good and bad, because it's all been part of who I am, where I am, and what the future possibly holds. To conclude now in English, once again, to everyone out there, everyone watching this, thank you, and I'm sorry. I wasn't the best version of myself at times, but I'm thankful for the mistakes I've made, believe it or not, because they've made me smarter and they've made me wiser. And granted, I'm far from perfect, but I certainly have become a better version of myself. To conclude it all, I had my near fatal accident 12 years ago. Second time I had to fight for my life. Second time I had to fight just to exist on this planet. And since then, I always say that near fatal accident was the best thing that happened to me in my life, because it really woke me up and set me on a path, on a course to try and find that lost piece of my soul. And that being said, I've not fully completed this quest, but I'm pretty much there. I'm getting very close. But throughout this quest, I've sat in meditation and reflected deeply on the past. I've thought a lot about the future. I've even taken numerous, what you could refer to as shamanic journeys or deep, intense meditations, this and that. And because of my reflections on the past, I want to conclude this with something from the late 80s, early 90s. One of the best sayings I've heard from one of the possibly goofiest films out there, but it really does. It's funny when you think about it, because it makes sense. And the conclusion of this movie, to paraphrase the saying, says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I've been to the past. I've been to the future. I've been all around the afterlife. And the best place to be is here. And the best time to be is now." So thanks for listening to me. I'm going to switch over here in German and try and get this all in one video. So those English speakers, you can listen along, or you could just skip over or end the video now. So hallo, jetzt einmal auf Deutsch, und ich gebe mein Bestes hier. Deutsch ist nicht meine Muttersprache, aber ich tue mein Bestes. Und das wird natürlich kürzer als die englische Version, aber es ist eine Zusammenfassung, und ich will mindestens etwas auf Deutsch sagen, da ich viele Bekannte, Freunde und so weiter hier in Deutschland habe. Und Fakt ist, ich habe zwei Sachen zu sagen, zwei wichtige Sachen, die ich sagen muss, für meine innere Frieden, für meine Ruhe, für meine Seele. Und diese zwei Sachen: erstens, es tut mir leid. Das sage ich zu allen da draußen, ehemalige Arbeitskollegen, Ex-Freundinnen, viele Freunde, die einmal Freunde waren, jetzt nicht mehr Freunde sind, und auch die Leute, die mich nicht mögen. Es ist ja, wie es ist. Es tut mir trotzdem leid. Ich war nicht immer das beste Ich. Viele Sachen sind Ende 99, Anfang 2000 zu mir im Leben passiert, ganz traumatische Sachen, und das hat mich innerlich zerstört. Ich habe einen Teil meiner Seele verloren. Ich war selber verloren, auf dem falschen Weg. Ich habe versucht, etwas zu sein, was ich nicht war. Ich habe eine blöde Rolle gespielt für Aufmerksamkeit, für Anerkennung. Einfach, dass die Welt mich sieht, weil ich habe mich selber nicht mehr gesehen. Ich habe auf jeden Fall nicht das Richtige gemacht. Ich bin den falschen Weg gegangen, aber so ist das. Man muss aus seinen Fehlern lernen, und manchmal sind diese Fehler nötig. Eigentlich ist alles, was uns im Leben passiert, nötig. Nichts passiert ohne Grund. Aber wie gesagt, ich habe viele Fehler im Leben gemacht. Ich war oft dumm und verloren. Und deswegen, für meine jetzige Friede ist es mir wichtig, dass ich sage, es tut mir leid. Ich hätte gern vieles anders gemacht, aber was getan ist, ist getan. Und es ist vorbei. Jetzt kann ich nur Richtung Zukunft gucken. Aus der Vergangenheit lernen, aber immer mit Blick nach vorne. Das andere, was ich kurz sagen will, ist ein Dankeschön. Für alle da draußen, Freunde, Kollegen, auch sogenannte Feinde. Die mich aus irgendwelchem Grund nicht mögen oder sogar hassen. Danke trotzdem, weil ihr wart alle mein Lehrer und ich habe von euch allen gelernt. Und auch wenn die Leute mich nicht mögen oder mich hassen, das ist okay. Nicht jeder muss mich mögen, aber für mich, ich habe keinen Platz mehr in meiner Seele für Hass. In Amerika sagen wir oft, du kannst nicht irgendjemanden lieben, ohne dich selber zuerst zu lieben. Und es stimmt, aber genauso, du kannst nicht jemanden hassen, außer wenn du etwas über dich selber hast. Vor allem Leute, die man gar nicht kennt, das ist Schwachsinn. Allerdings, ich bin dankbar für jeden und für alles. Für die sogenannten guten Zeiten wie die sogenannten schlechten Zeiten. Gut und schlecht, das sind nur Interpretationen, es gehört alles zu dem Leben. Man muss es einfach annehmen, wie es kommt, und wenn es scheint schlecht zu sein, einfach durchkämpfen, weil danach kommt vielleicht das Beste. Und auch wenn es gut ist, wenn alles scheint perfekt zu sein, dann einfach genießen. Seid dankbar, dass ihr habt, was ihr habt. Es kann immer besser sein, es kann ja auch immer schlimmer sein. Sei einfach dankbar. Ich denke viel an meine Kindheit und ich habe extrem Heimweh. Bringt mich auch, wenn ich das sogar sage, könnte ich fast heulen, aber man muss stark bleiben und man muss durchkämpfen. Fakt ist, die Sachen, die Fehler, die ich gemacht habe, haben mich zum Hier und Jetzt geführt. Und ich habe eine ganz tolle Frau und eine zuckersüße Tochter und bisher den besten Job, den ich bisher hatte. Und ich bin für alles dankbar. Und wie gesagt, für euch auch. Weil alles hat seinen Grund. Und jeder ist mein Lehrer. Und ich bin hier. Und jetzt. Und heute ist so ein schöner Tag. La 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 la. Also das war es auf Deutsch. Das ganze Video ist jetzt schon fast 20 Minuten lang. Danke fürs Zuhören, für eure Aufmerksamkeit. Ich wünsche euch nur das Beste. Ja, auch ihr da draußen, die mich hassen. Lebe ein Leben ohne Hass, es tut dir gut. Ist besser so. Und genieß einfach jeden Tag. Weißt du, ich hatte schon als Baby, 3 Monate alt, Meningitis. Der Arzt hat meiner Mutter gesagt, dein Kind, der hat wohl keine Zukunft, der wird sterben. Seit ich 3 Monate alt war, musste ich kämpfen, nur um dieses Leben zu leben. 44 Jahre später, ich bin immer noch hier. Vor 12 Jahren bin ich wieder fast gestorben. Ich war klinisch tot, bin immer noch hier. Ihr müsst kämpfen für eure Ziele. Das Leben ist wunderschön, aber es ist nur so schön, wie ihr es macht. Schönen Tag euch.